everybody, it's Mrs. Smith, and you're probably wondering who our artist of the week is. Well, we are taking a pause from learning about some really important artists throughout history, throughout our world, and we're going to start learning about some artists right here in Petersburg that are just like you. These are some students at Petersburg Elementary and Porta Central who are making art during their shelter in place time at home, but also finding ways to use that art to help their communities. So for the next couple weeks, we're going to be featuring some great local artists who are going to tell you some of the things they've been doing and give you some suggestions about things you can try at home to make the world a better place. Check them out. Hi, everybody. We're back, and I am with actually my brand new friend, Ariel. Ariel and I just met during this quarantine time. So, Ariel, we say hi to everybody. And Ariel,
Hello.
tell us a little bit about you. What grade are you in? How old are you? What are some things you like to do?
I am in fourth grade and I like to do art. I like to go fishing. I have a obsession with sloths. Um, I like to play in the mud. I like to do like survival things.
Hmm.
So for example, I made this. It's a slingshot.
Wow, that is
I
amazing.
made it out of sticks.
Yeah.
um, elec electrical tape and duct tape and a rubber band.
So you're really good at making something out of nothing. Like you can just create art out of just about anything, right? Yeah. Which
Yeah,
is
just about.
That's a really good skill to have at a time when we kind of have to just use the stuff that's around our house sometimes. Like we can't just run to the store and get craft supplies and art supplies. So that's really cool. Now, I want to talk to you about a couple different things that I know you've been working on when you've been at home. And the first thing I want to talk to you about is your work with like yarn and crochet. Can you tell us some of the stuff that you make at home?
The main thing that I make is octopi. Um, so one of them I brought over um, is this one.
That is so cool.
Um, the head, if you're wondering what the head is made out of, it is it's a tennis ball
Very cool.
that I. Um,
Now, Ariel,
so I just.
do you think that that's something that you could teach somebody else how to make sometime if they ever wanted to learn?
Yeah, definitely.
Very cool. Even somebody like me who's not very good at doing crochet or knitting or any of that kind of stuff. Very neat. So I think maybe
Yeah.
you have a future as an art teacher, I think. But you also seem like somebody that could do like a million things. Maybe. No pressure. No big deal. Right. So Ariel also did something super interesting. So Ariel made some artwork to hang around the square for our virtual art show, which is the first piece of Ariel's art that I had seen. And I didn't know her very well. So I asked if she had any other art. And Ariel, you did something amazing to show me all the different art you had made. What is it that you put together?
I put together a slideshow on Google Slides.
So I know that a lot of our students right now are using Google Classroom and Google Slides to do work for school. How did you figure out how to make a Google Slides presentation just using your own artwork?
Well, I know how to make the slides from third grade because we did a planet report for science. Um, and surprisingly, it's actually pretty easy.
Very cool. So I know that I really enjoyed getting a chance to see your art that way, but are there other people that you think you might share your slideshow with that might just appreciate seeing your art?
Yeah.
Like who?
Um, Probably like my friend. Her name is Riley. Um, Another one of my friends, Layla, and like my grandpa and my grandma,
Yeah.
and most of my family.
When you send that to me, I thought this is a really great way for other people to see your art because it's not like you can just go to school and show all your friends or you can run over to your neighbor's house. So we have to kind of start getting creative with ways to share our art. So I love that you thought about taking the things that you're learning in school and using them to help you spread your art into the world. That's awesome. Also, kind of like a last minute addition to our interview today, you were working on a little bit of a comic strip today. Do you want to tell everybody about it?
So it is about um, COVID-19 or coronavirus, and it's kind of like just trying to get humor out of it since it's kind of a serious thing. Just trying to not have everybody fear it, basically, and just try and see how you can make it into something that you can make happy.
That is really awesome. You know, a lot of the people that I've been talking to today about making art in quarantine, we've been talking about how art can really help us feel better, sometimes just drawing or sketching. But I love that you took your art and turned it into a way to kind of help people feel better about something that might be scary or worrisome to them. I know in our arts classes at PES this year, we talked about a couple different artists. One of them is named Jean-Michel Basquiat. I don't know if you know him, but you would really love his work. But also, he was in a car accident. And instead of being afraid of accidents or cars, he started to incorporate cars into the drawings and paintings and graffiti work that he did because it was kind of his way, like you just said, of taking something that could be scary or troublesome and turning it into art. And it kind of helped him to get through those things. So there are very famous artists who do that same thing that you did today. So that's super impressive. That's a great way for you to turn something that could be sad into something that might make somebody smile or laugh. So I love that. So, Ariel, do you have any other work around that you'd like to show us today?
Sure, I have. So my friend Riley, so this kind of started at school, like just at random times, like sometimes like when we would like get bored or something, uh, I would like draw on sticky notes and make little drawings, and then I would show them to my friend Riley, and she said, "Hey, can I have some of those? I have a little poster board that I could put those on." And I was like, "Sure." And so um, I just started uh, drawing stuff for her
Oh, cool.
on little sticky notes.
So even before our shelter in place started, you were already kind of using your art to like reach out to your friends and help them be happy and create some artistic energy around people that were looking for that. I love that. So, can you think of other ways? I'm going to put you on the spot. In the next couple months, when everybody's at home and everybody's looking for things to do that maybe have to do with art, what are some things people could maybe do or that you like to do that just make you feel better and make you feel like you're doing something good to help the world when you're using all those art skills that you're so good at?
Um, I really like to make slime, which is one thing that you can do, which is pretty easy.
Yeah.
Um, it all you have all you have to use is glue and a type of activator or borax. So if you don't have any like borax powder or anything like that, if your parents are comfortable with you doing that and you don't have any um, and it doesn't hurt your skin, you can use Tide um, uh, for the washing machine. So you can use that as an activator. You can basically just make anything that you want with slime. You can put little beads in it and make it a cool texture. You can make it really soft. You can do a lot of things with slime.
That is really cool.
Um,
I always think slime is like really good because it's a good stress relief too. If you're like,
Mhm.
using your hands. And also, like, if you're like me and you've been sitting at a computer all day, which is why I have to wear these glasses, sometimes you just want to do something like with your hands to get moving and not have to be sitting and all day. So slime is really good. That's a really great suggestion.
also, I one day I just randomly started wanting to draw, and so I drew this. It's Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, very
Um,
cool.
I decided to make it a magnet. So what I did is so before I decided to make it a magnet, I basically laminated it. So I just put um, some tape over it because putting tape over your drawings and your art um, makes it last longer. So, for example, I made this card. It's the coronavirus. So I put tape over it so that it would last longer,
Very
and
cool.
so like it won't be as easy to like rip or crumble.
Yeah, that's a great idea. It kind of keeps it like weatherproof too. I know a lot of people are hanging hearts and things in their window, and using tape to laminate is a really smart idea. I know at the school we laminate in big sheets, but if you don't have that at home, you can just lay strips of tape over things to protect them from things like the rain and the sun. So that's a really good idea. Great suggestion. So Ariel, I
Some
just want,
more of those.
what's that?
And two more of those magnets I have. This one is a little bee. Um, for a certain person. His name is Mr. Jordan. He is the principal um, for where I used to go to school. It's called Blackhawk. He is the greatest principal I've ever known. He is so nice. Um, one really special thing that he would do is he would um, do the um, morning announcements, and then after he was finished, he would go down to every classroom and he would give everybody in the class a hug.
Wow.
Um,
So that's
uh,
really great to be thinking about making art for somebody like that, because I know that us teachers are really missing not only being at school, but seeing all of our teacher friends and our kiddos and our school families. So that's a really great idea to think about making art for a teacher or somebody from school that might really be missing seeing your artwork every day. I love that. So Ariel, I want to make sure that you continue, and I know you will, to make lots of awesome art while you're spending a little more time at home, because I think it's a great time to be creative. And I'm going to be checking in with you to see all of the new and exciting ways that you come up with to create art for people in the community. So keep up with the great work.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. All right, Ariel, I'll talk to you soon, okay?
Mhm.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Keep it
Bye.
up. Hey, everybody, we're back with another featured artist this week. And this week, I am talking to a first grade artist. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Claire.
This is Claire. And Claire, whose class are you in?
Um, Mrs. Fickus.
Mrs. Fickus's class. And Claire is an exceptionally good art student. She's very patient. She takes her time. She works really hard. She uses lots of detail. So, Claire is an awesome person to learn about art from. So, Claire, can you tell us a little bit about some of your favorite ways to make art?
Um, I do have a lot of art supplies, and I really like to use that when I have the chance to.
That's awesome. I bet you've maybe had a little more time lately to be doing some art stuff at home with all those supplies, right?
I mean, I do go to daycare.
Yeah. Do you ever get to do art when you're at daycare too?
Hmm
Yeah,
During the
sometimes.
day, sometimes.
Very cool. So, Claire, I'm going to talk about some specific things that you've done because you are not only a really good artist, but you're a pretty good human too. Because even before all of this crazy stuff happened, Claire did one of my all time favorite things at school where she thought about a way that she could help other people and animals in the world. Do you know what I'm talking about, Claire?
Hmm
And Claire came up with this idea all on her own. So in art, we learned how to make our art help this big idea that she had. So Claire, could you tell everybody a little bit about what I'm talking about right now?
So it was kind of like a fundraiser for like all the animals in Australia because there were a lot of wildfires. And so there's a lot of endangered animals there.
Yeah. And you basically came to school and said, "Hey, grown-ups, we need to do something," right?
Mhm.
Yeah, so it was you said it was kind of a fundraiser. You wound up raising a lot of money to help animals, right?
Mhm.
Do you remember how much? It
It
was a
was
lot.
I can't even remember like how much.
I can't either, but you know what? By the time I share this with our friends, I'm going to look it up and see if I can remember so I can put it on our video so people know. But you, my friend, were responsible for saving a lot of animals. And how did we decide that we could use our art in our art class time to help with your project? What did we do?
So we drew more koalas to put up like in the office. Like we colored them in like every couple dollars.
Right. So we all made koalas like the whole first grade. And then we colored them in as we were able to raise money. We had one really big one with stripes, and so we colored in the lines, but then everybody had their own koala. It was one of my favorite projects ever, and I didn't even come up with it. It was all you. So that was an awesome way to use your art to make people smile. And you actually have some artwork on display in Petersburg right now, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to tell everybody about what you have on display?
Sure. I made like a picture of me and then like a self-portrait
With the
of
assist
me,
from mom. Yeah.
and I made a gnome. We
Yeah.
all did those the whole first grade.
Yeah, we've got all our first grade gnomes, and then I'm pretty sure, I think, is your self-portrait hanging in Styles and More, I think?
Mm-hmm.
I think it is, because you didn't just draw a little self-portrait. You drew like a life-size Claire, really big, and then you cut it out and matted it, right? It was really cool. It was super special and looks just like you, by the way.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But I was just in town the other day and it's still hanging proudly on display. So if anybody is watching this video and wants to go down to the square, they could take a look at that piece of art. And your mom sent me some artwork that you did last week outside. Tell me a little bit about it. Do you remember what it was?
So I watched Jack's video, and then I was like, I should make something like to help or make people feel good.
Yeah.
So I drew something, and it said, "Stay safe."
Which is awesome because you accomplished a lot of things. You used your beautiful artwork to make people smile, but also to teach them something, right? Because one of the things that's so hard right now, the reason that you and I have to talk like this and not like over a chicken patty in my classroom over lunch is because we all have to stay home. So you used your art to show people that it's important to stay home and stay safe. That's really, really impressive. I was really proud of that.
And I made something last night.
Do you happen to have it there with you?
Yeah. Up here. Is it still up here?
It's over in the living room.
Okay. I would love for you to show us so everybody gets a chance to see it.
Okay.
I think I already saw it. I think Mom sent me a picture, but I'm not sure.
You have to hold it up to the camera so you can
It says we're in this. We are in this together.
I love that. How did you make those hands?
So I traced one of my hands, but Daddy did the other because I'm not really good at tracing with this hand. That's not the hand that I use to write.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I can't do anything with my left hand. I try, actually. One of the things I've been doing is kind of like a challenge since I've been home in quarantine is trying to use my left hand for things. Sometimes when I sit down to write or color, I think I'm gonna try and use my left hand because nobody's gonna see it. So if it's sloppy, it doesn't matter, but I can kind of practice using that other hand just to see. Your artwork actually reminded me of a really cool project that I saw that you might actually really like to do too, where this mom traced, like just like you did on a piece of paper, she traced a bunch of hands. And hold up your picture one more time, because I love the way you drew the fingernails on them and then you painted the fingernails, like you decorated them like they had nail polish. So this grown-up did that same thing that you did, traced hands, and then she drew the fingernails on, and then she gave her kids bottles of nail polish. Do you have any nail polish at your house?
Uh-huh.
She gave her
Lots
kids
of it.
bottles of nail polish, and they could actually just paint the fingernails that she drew. Wasn't that a cool art project?
Mhm.
Yeah. So if you have a lot of nail polish sitting around, that would be something really fun. You could just draw a whole bunch of hands and draw on the fingernails like you did, but then use nail polish and practice. It's even a great way to kind of practice doing some designs in different colors. So if you do that, you'll have to send it to me so I can see that too, okay?
Okay.
So if there are other boys and girls from your school or maybe even other schools that are listening right now, what is something that you would like to tell them about? Maybe something they could do while they're home that would be using their art skills to make themselves feel better or make somebody else feel better.
So the first one I did was with chalk. That was the stay safe one. And this one I did was like crayon and pencil.
So maybe if they don't have chalk, they probably have pencils they could use, right? Yeah. What about, I see all that glue sitting there. Do you ever use glue in your artwork?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
give me an example of a way that you use glue in art.
So if you cut something out that you want to add to your picture, like you take the cap off and you like glue it on there.
Yeah. So you could actually, last week in our art lesson, we learned about making a collage where you take lots of different pictures and put them all together and glue them in lots of different ways with shapes and colors.
Yeah, we're doing that at daycare.
You are super fun. Well, make sure you send me pictures of your art so I can keep seeing what you're busy doing while you're at home, okay?
Okay.
All right, is there anything else you'd like to tell everybody?
No.
Maybe
Not
just stay safe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you go because I know you probably need to go help your mom. You need to tell her she needs to sit down and put her feet up for a little bit, right? And Henry too, is he sitting down with his feet up?
Probably.
You think? I hope.
He's watching his iPad.
Oh, well, he had his pajamas on, so he looked ready. All right, Claire, I'm so glad I got to see you and talk to you, and I'll talk to you soon, okay?
Bye.
Bye. Enjoy the rest of your night.